Huge win.
Yeah.
I mean, on the road to South Carolina, the way they've played at home this year, and they're a good program and a good team. Murray Boyles is one of the toughest matchups to defend in the country, and they do a great job utilizing him and putting him in position. And they hit 10 threes to complement that. Positionally and from a discipline standpoint, defensively, their program is terrific. And we did enough. We had to hit some hard ones, of course. Silas hit some hard ones. We got some offensive rebound putbacks. We drew some fouls. Blue stepped up, hit some threes for us. We did enough offensively.
Dylan James, though, that put back and just a huge part of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been in that starting lineup now for a few games.
Yeah.
And he's really coming through today with some of the biggest plays he's made.
Every day deal. Every day deal. You know what you're going to get out of him from an effort, attitude standpoint, and also mentally. He's always engaged, locked in on the scout and what we're trying to do offensively. He plays within himself too. No, he's growing. All three of our sophomores are growing and getting better every day.
You mentioned the Blue Kings, back-to-back 3-pointers. I mean,
huge.
Some of those. I mean, he's way back there and let him cut. As you were the coach, you always wanted to take whenever.
Part of the process offensively for us to go from struggling to pretty good at times. And we're still a work in progress. Of course, is our aggression and as our guys talk about our swagger. And the past probably month or so, we've erred on the side of just letting fly a little bit more. It's helped with our turnovers. We had one turnover in our backcourt tonight, which is phenomenal on the road in the SEC. I think our guards had one turnover, from our backcourt.
Right.
And I think our guards had 15 rebounds as well. So our guard, it was a big time game for our guards collectively. Dakota and Tyron off the bench to complement with Dylan as the starting wing. And Blue and Silas, again, continue to improve.
Is it too early for me to ask you if this is an NCAA team now?
We're a good team. We are. We can't worry about that because you just waste time and energy doing it. I'm worried about learning as much about Vanderbilt as we possibly can and why they've had such a magical year. And hats off to those guys. Great opportunity for us on Saturday against a high-level team. And we hope to have 2 really good practices. And this team will. I'll be shocked if we don't. We had some really good ones on the road. 5-day road trip, the opportunity to spend a lot of time with one another and bond, and hopefully we can continue to improve.
South Carolina came out firing from deep. How did you guys survive that? And then eventually in that second half,
I thought their crowd was good late too. You got to. Murray Boyles demands so much respect and attention, and those guys stepped up around him and made shots. And they've got good players, and they space you. And they put you in tough defensive positions, and those guys cashed in and made us pay, and they played with confidence offensively. We did enough. We got enough stops down the stretch. We almost had a couple good zone possessions. We got hands on basketballs, a couple tips that ball didn't bounce our way, and we had to get out of zone. And again, it wasn't pretty for us offensively too against one of the best defensive programs in our league. But we made enough tough ones to survive.
Another first half where you guys shoot over 50%, especially to do that on the road. What did you think was working offensively in the first half?
Played with confidence again. Played with poise. Again, our ball security, our ball toughness, our lack of turnovers just gives you a chance. And if you go back 4 or 5 months and some of those games where you have 15 to 24 turnovers, if you have 8 or 10 in those, maybe a couple of those would have gone the other way for us. But credit our guys to buy into the fact that, hey, we've got a major problem here, and we've got to get better. And there's different factors involved with it, but at the end of the day, our young people, our guys have just gotten more skilled. Period. They've just worked at it, making better decisions. We're playing with more poise, just playing a little bit older than we were earlier in the year.
I think it was twice they cut it to 4 in like the last 9 minutes. But just watching you guys, never seemed like there was any panic, anything like that. And we've seen that throughout the year. How does this team do this? Especially, again, this is on the road, to not panic when South Carolina had a little momentum.
I think if Tyron wasn't out there, it could have been a little different. And we were without Tyron 4 games. And he brings us that calming influence, another ball handler. We play him some some at the 1, some at the 2, some at the 3 as a smaller 3. He's defensively, he's right there with Silas. Blue's getting there too. Dakota's getting better. You know, he's another one of our better defenders. And Dakota played well too. So we've got 2 seniors, and when they go on the road, and both of them give you a lot. You know, in terms of winning plays, not necessarily getting 20, but taking good shots and valuing the basketball and defending at a high clip, rebounding. You know, to help our bigs. That's a big part of it. And then the growth, of course, again with those sophomore guards, I think is another big factor.